you will see where pathological narcissists, especially those that are on the psychopathic or sociopathic end of the spectrum, will have dead eyes and or full black eyes. And this is because at a consciousness level, at a spirit level, these individuals are close to death. And here we are talking about the death of the consciousness. So it is important to understand that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. So what I mean by this is it is important to understand that you are spirit governing a human body with access to tools, namely your mind power, your willpower, and your emotions. The mind power, the willpower, and the emotions is what you may commonly call the personality, the psyche, or what you may hear me commonly call the soul. So clinicians will say that pathological narcissists have a personality disorder because they have an impairment at the level of the mind power, the willpower, and the emotions. Or this would be a similar equivalent to when I say that they are lost souls or dark souls. So understand that pathological narcissists, people that have NPD or they are on the NPD spectrum, or they're delving deep into antisocial personality disorder, ASPD, that which you call sociopathy or psychopathy, at a spirit level, they are very close to death. So at a physical level, they will be walking around here on the planet, but when you look into their eyes, number one, you will see where they will have dead eyes because the eyes, physical, are the windows to the soul. And what you're looking inside is a dark soul, a lost soul. So number one, you will see dead eyes where they just look like they're dead. The lights are on, but nobody's really home. And then the second set of eyes that you will see are full black eyes. And I want to make it abundantly clear here that I'm not talking about a dilated iris. I'm talking about full black eyes where there is no sclera. It is important to understand that if you encountered any being that has full black eyes, meaning you do not see any whites, that is a sign of demon possession. And if you have encountered a narcissist, a narcissistic sociopath, a sociopathic narcissist, a psychopathic narcissist, and you see them with those full black eyes, and you would know that that person is in demon mode. And you will also feel the energy in the room shift with you because you're not really dealing with a human being anymore. The human being has stepped out, and what you're dealing with is a pure evil entity. Now, what I'm talking about in this video, you will not find it in the DSM because the DSM is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Illnesses. Hence, it is important that you understand that clinicians, so psychotherapists, psychologists, etc., do not study the area of the spirit. Clinicians study the area of the psyche. That is why they are psychologists. The DSM is governed by the American Psychiatric Association. Hence, they are psychopathologists, which means that they observe phenomena in the physical realm on the outside, and then they assign all of those pathologies to the area of the psyche, the personality, or the soul. Clinicians do not study the spirit. And I want to make this abundantly clear to those of you that have seen those black eyes that you were not dealing with a human being. Now, you may call evil spirits different names depending on the culture that you come from. You may hear me refer to them as a malevolent entity, a demon, or a demonic spirit. Some people call them Leviathan spirits, Python spirits. In indigenous Native American culture, they will call this spirit Wetico. If you have encountered a narcissist that went full demon mode, then you would know that you are in the presence of a predator. And it will feel like you are surrounded by 1,000 hyenas. It is important to understand that if you encounter someone in this state of consciousness, They have completely dissociated, and what you are dealing with is an evil spirit. And what is an evil spirit? An evil spirit is against the living. It is antisocial in nature. It does not create, it only destroys. It lies, it connives, it causes chaos and derision. So understand that pathological narcissism, narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder is a psycho-spiritual illness. You can get the psychological information from the clinicians, but clinicians do not have the capacity to give you spiritual information because this is not what they study. At a spirit level, you are dealing with the dead. And this is why it feels like the life force is being drained out of you when you get into entanglements with these individuals, because you're not dealing with the living, you are dealing with the dead. Every day, a pathological narcissist wakes up, they're in shame. And at best, they get to the level of pride. And pride cometh before the fall, so they fall right back down to shame. You're dealing with someone that did not develop past their lower ego. They exist in victim abuser consciousness. Any relationship that you get into with a pathological narcissist will be a victim abuser type 1, because that is the level of consciousness that they are at. There are 8 billion, B Bravo, there are 8 billion people on this planet, and we do not all operate at the same level of consciousness. At the top of the Hawking scale, you will find enlightenment, and there are figures that we use to represent enlightenment, such as Christ consciousness, the Buddha, Krishna, etc. Then there are people that represent the opposite of this. Then it is anti-Christ consciousness, because these individuals are anti-social. They are colonizers. They are dictators. And all of those exist at the bottom of the Hawking scale because they're all shame-based people. They hate themselves and they also hate you. They are empathy impaired because they do not have any empathy to give to you. They did not develop to the level to have empathy. It is important to understand that if you are interacting with someone that is stuck in the third dimension at a consciousness level, then these individuals are as close to death at a spiritual level that you can get. Every day a narcissist wakes up, they are in shame. Shame is directed at the self. Shame says, I don't like myself. And if a pathological narcissist does not like themselves, then they cannot like you. They don't have like to give. They don't have love to give. They don't have empathy to give. They don't even have courage to give. Pathological narcissism at an energy spectrum exists below the line of courage. They do not have courage to give to you. The most positive emotion that they have access to is pride. And this is maladaptive pride, which means that they believe that they are grandiose and perfect people do not need to change. And this is why abusers want you to adjust yourself to their abuse, because they believe that abuse is acceptable behavior. The only relationship that you will get with someone that is stuck in victim abuser consciousness at that level of vibration, at that low level consciousness, is a victim abuser type of relationship. And these individuals include the pathological narcissist, the sociopath, the psychopath, the antisocials, because they are antisocial in nature. They come to destroy, they come to lie, they come to connive, they come to cause chaos and destruction, because when they pull you down, they feel better about themselves. And this is where you get popular sayings such as misery loves company, because if they cannot ascend, then you must descend, and they're going to drag you down into the first dimension with them in hell.